Okay. Could you tell us about the Treaty of Niagara in 1764 and what it meant to the Anishnaabe of
Nice
Wadding?
segue. Well, the Treaty of Niagara, around about 2,000 Indigenous leaders showed up to that, right, making it one of the largest treaties in the history of treaty making in the world. The only other big one is, the other next biggest one, I believe, is the Great Peace of Montreal, 1701. Both of these treaties, the Anishnaabe of the Sioux played a role in. But in terms of the 1764 treaty, what happens is that's where we meet at Niagara and agree to end the conflict with the British. Because the French gave up fighting in 1760. France surrendered its colony in Canada to the English in 1763. But we really didn't stop fighting. We had not made a peace. Now, the British and their government assumed we'd made peace with them. They assumed this proclamation meant they'd have peace. But much to their consternation, their settlers and soldiers were still being killed. We still wouldn't behave as the good little people we were supposed to. So they sent, Johnston was ordered to make peace, to end the conflict. And to do this, he sent out copies of the Royal Proclamation with wampum to all the communities throughout the Great Lakes and Ohio valleys, and asked everybody to come to Niagara in the summer. So the 1763 arrived in the fall, the proclamation. He sent it out and said, we're going to have a treaty, we're going to have a conference at Niagara, Fort Niagara, in 1764, the summer. And that's on the American side. And over 2,000 leaders showed up. And there, and it's recorded in wampum, nice belt with two people holding hands, council fires, and a date on it. So it's a very hybrid belt, because we didn't generally put dates on things. It's Europeans. But there we agreed to live in peace. We agreed to trade. We agreed that we could share our lands, provided things were met and conditions were dealt with. It was our acceptance of the Royal Proclamation, sort of, but there was other things added in. Sault Ste. Marie, the people in Sault Ste. Marie were offered to hold on to the other end of the wampum belt in 1764, recognizing that this was an honor. Our leadership decided to pass the honor to the people at Mackinac Island, the Odawa there, and said, you guys really need to hold on to the other end of this belt to make sure that it's maintained and enforced and followed. But I think that's the more important document, because it's really our acceptance of certain terms and our establishment of a more appropriate relationship with the British, because we sat there and discussed it and agreed to it. It wasn't some king saying this is what we're going to do.